President Biden heading to Hawaii today, nearly 2 weeks after the deadly wildfires that engulfed parts of that island, killing at least 114 people. At least 1,000 people are still missing right now. Now, the president releasing this statement, Jill and I are eager to meet with the brave first responders in Lahaina and witness firsthand what will be required for the community to recover. We will be here for as long as it takes. The president has been vacationing in Lake Tahoe. He's staying at billionaire and climate investor Tom Steyer's $18 million mansion, by the way. RNC Research Center writing on X, quote, Biden has spent 374 days, 39.7% of his presidency on vacation. We'll go with 40%, folks. Okay. Joining me now is Alabama Congressman Jerry Carl. He is a member of the House Appropriations and Natural Resources Committees. Congressman, remember the infamous now comment from President Biden when asked about Maui was no comment. Is this cleanup on aisle 5 this trip?
This president continues to amaze me. How you can go on vacation when such a horrible event is taking place, and we really don't know how horrible it is at this point. All those kids that were sent home that are still unaccounted for, and we may never know due to the heat of that fire. So it just amazes me how this president just kind of flippantly, you know, he'll find a way of turning this into an environmental disaster. Trust me, it'll all be environmentally related. If I was a president, I'd be over there getting the guy that took 48 hours to give permission to pump water out of a creek to put a fire out. That's the guy I would be going to see. And I would have been there day one, not a week later.
Well, now the president's only going to go for the day. I mean, and then he's going to go back on vacation, Congressman, for the rest of the week. Is this really the time that now you've got this hurricane and tropical storm that's hit California? So now you've got that disaster on the president's hands. And again, he'll go to Maui, do a little tour. He'll be right back to vacation in Tahoe, sir.
Yeah, I think people get tired of those flyovers, and that's what this president does. He just flies over and talks about how bad it looks. You know, I think these long weekends and this vacation, I think it has a lot to do with his health. I think they're having to, you know, rest him up and juice him up with whatever, and, you know, trying to hide his health issues, because he certainly doesn't mind being referred to as vacation time. But what he's doing in Hawaii, or for Hawaii, I think is almost criminal. He should have been over there immediately.
Let's move on to what's coming up for you and your colleagues. Lawmakers are going to be returning to Capitol Hill next month. Many are expecting the House and the Senate to approve this stopgap spending bill, which punts any government funding decisions until early December. Texas Congressman Chip Roy, he says, wait a minute. He wants to use every tool at his disposal to stop the continuing resolution. He wants to stop funding the Department of Homeland Security unless the administration agrees to fight the border crisis. Congressman, where do you stand on this? Do you believe that we should again have a spending fight right when lawmakers return from their August recess?
Well, when we get back right after Labor Day, we'll have 12 appropriation bills to get through the floor. And I think it's going to be a challenge, to say the least. I think there's a handful of elected officials in this country that want to see the government shut down for the pure sake of saying they shut the government down. That's not a reason to do it. The border issue is huge, not just for Chip Roy. That border issue is huge for me. We just picked they just caught the #1 on the list for El Salvador, MS-13 member right here in Alabama, in a little small town called Chelsea. And that hits home. If people don't think that every town's a border town, all they need to look at is a little town called Chelsea, Alabama, and you get the #1 out of El Salvador that they find there. So the border issue is huge for all of us, not just our elected folks that are there on the border. But it's going to be tough because I think there are a handful that really want to show their power by trying to shut the government down. But we're working hard to keep that from happening. We're trying to meet what they feel like they need. And we've got a good package put together. And you won't see it until it hits the floor. But some of these packages, we've cut as much as 30% of the budget. I don't know how you can cut much more at one time and still keep a government moving, but we're trying. We're trying our best.
All right. Well, we shall see what happens again when that recess comes to a conclusion. But here's what's happening right now for many Americans, and this is a kitchen table issue, and it's gas prices. They're rising again this month. According to AAA, despite less drivers on the road, weather worries like hurricanes could prevent any price drops until mid-September. Even longer, the price of regular is $3.86. That's a 20-cent jump from July, sir. Diesel, $4.34 this morning. That's a 50-cent jump in just a month. What can be done? Because this, sir, is inflation. And that is what the American driver and as well as stores that have their trucks that use diesel, retail stores, grocery stores are facing right now.
So I had a good long meeting with the trucking industry last week here in Mobile, Alabama, trying to get a feel for what they feel like we can do. Fuel costs are an issue for everybody, and everyone should understand when fuel prices go up, the trucking industry's prices go up, which is passed down to transportation prices. So that pair of blue jeans that you wear just went up 6 or 7 cents. You know, a gallon of gas has gone up about 30% versus last year. And we tried our best to head that off. When this president took office, the very first thing we passed was H.R. 1, trying to give us independence, this country independence on our fossil fuels. We were shut down. This country wants us dependent on countries like Venezuela and OPEC. We should be independent. We should be doing more drilling. We should be encouraging more drilling. We should be encouraging our oil companies to be drilling instead of discouraging them. And of course, they're taking their profits and they're plowing it into different things other than just re-drilling. We're going to get ourselves in bad trouble here. And where the environmental, and they do it for environmental purposes, we can drill it, clean it, some of the cleanest energy in the world, but yet we'd rather buy it from a third world country like Venezuela and produce it right here outside of Mobile, Alabama.
Well,
it just amazes me how this president does this.
Well, I was going to say, that's why we have elections, and that's why people go to the polls and they vote. Congressman Jerry Carl, it's great to see you. Thank you, Congressman.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.